Hooray!
After a nice morning of coffee at a great little cafe on the walking street, and then a really good lunch at kind of a local Albanian spot. Different food than what you find at a lot of the restaurants. It's really good. We're heading to the Ethnographic Museum, so we're gonna check this museum out. I don't know if we're allowed to film inside. We're excited to finally go to one of the ethnographic museums.
Hooray!
Ethnographic museums are places where you can learn about people and cultures, and they usually have items from everyday life, such as clothing or kitchen items or various machinery that people used to use to live. And this ethnographic museum in Berat is especially cool because it's inside an old house. As you can see behind us, that's the museum. It's actually located inside an old home from the 16th century. When we walked into the museum, there was clearly something going on with a bunch of cameras and people dressed up in traditional clothing. So we asked what it was, and it was a music video shooting for a famous
Traditional Albanian singer Maya. Look her up.
So they filmed at the castle this morning, and then they're filming at the Ethnographic Museum right now.
Right now.
They still let us go in, and we just had to kind of stay out of the way of the shooting, but we ended up meeting Maya and getting a picture with her. She was very nice.
As we were leaving the Ethnographic Museum, we had some questions about some of the displays.
The woman who's running the museum, basically, who's in charge of the museum, Gladiola, was more than happy to answer our questions.
She told us how she was born up in the castle and that her family still lives there, and that when her parents pass away, she'll get to keep the house in the castle.
She told us next time we come to Berat that we can come live in her family home in the castle while we're here.
So the Berat Ethnographic Museum, 10 stars.
Hey, my friend. I made a friend. We keep walking by this mosque, and it seems like there's something else behind it too. Let's go check it out. So there's a man standing outside or sitting outside of the mosque here. He is officially like a tour guide for the mosque and also security. Maybe unofficially a tour guide, but he's a security guard.
He's officially a security guard,
Yeah, and he knows a lot. So he has been answering all of our questions and telling us lots of really cool things about it.
He told us that during communism period, the mosque that we were just visiting was used as a ping pong center, and that this was a food market.
Something that we learned inside the old homes that we've seen, there will be screens inside some rooms, and women are supposed to be separate from men. This was not necessarily a religious thing, but a cultural thing. Back in like the 18th century, 17th century, women would stand in these rooms behind the screens and look out while the men were doing whatever rituals or things that were going on in the home or here in this mosque. And then after the men left, then the women could come down.
Our tour guide told us that these frescoes were made with 14 karat gold. We also learned, and we've seen in all of the mosques that we've been in, all three of them, that there's an alcove, and that is the direction of Mecca.
The man who was showing us around, Hekuran, he told us that
this mosque was originally built in 1500, and then they did a lot of renovation in 1782.
And then there were some touch-ups done in 2020, and it sounds like a little bit might have been done in the 1990s when the mosque reopened after communism. back on the walking street. We're gonna continue. Sivo's knee has really been bugging him. I think all these hills are not helping, so we're trying to stick to the flat areas for a little bit here.
I'm old and I'm going to die soon.
No, never die. You'll be okay. We'll get some ice cream. I was gonna say ibuprofen, but yeah, that works too. I'd love to see if we can go inside this mosque. So this mosque is locked, but you can still see some frescoes if you walk up to it on the inside. And it looks like there is a guest house just next to it. So that would be a pretty cool place to stay. So right now we're trying to go find this place. I'm not going to pretend to pronounce it, but it looks like someone's home that they've opened up to share about the history of their home. Hi, fluffy doggy. According to the map, it's this building, the one with the padlock. Very close. There are literally spider webs growing on the padlock.
Just when you think Albanian people couldn't get any nicer.
So we went looking for this museum that we saw on Google. It said it was someone's home.
So we went into like a cul-de-sac, and there was a woman renovating her home, and she spoke English and said, "How can I help you guys?"
We were like, "Don't worry about it. It's probably not here. It's probably closed already. It's okay, no worries." And she's like, "No, no, no." And she insisted that she help us.
She's like, "Oh, Chaco, those are my neighbors. Let me go ring their doorbell."
Their doorbell wasn't working, so she just started shouting until they came out.
The homeowner came out and said, "Oh, this is my house, not a museum, but come on in."
So she said, "Yeah, because you're with me, he'll let you come inside." We were just like, what the heck? We felt so bad. We're like, this isn't even a museum. Like, where are we right now? What's happening? But this man lets us into his home, and it is incredible. He let us take some pictures and some video inside. His home, he said, was from the 1700s.
In his bedroom, there are frescoes that are 300 plus years old.
Again, this guy doesn't speak any English. We're just communicating on Google Translate.
And then he took us upstairs, up some very narrow steps, to see another room above his bedroom that also had murals from 1869. And we know that because there was the numbers on the wall.
So his family has lived in this home for what we understand 4 generations. So after he showed us his home, he invited us to sit outside on his terrace, and his wife brought us drinks. And he showed us a bunch of videos on YouTube of his band.
It slaps.
I just felt bad because this wasn't actually a museum, and then this stranger let us into his home and showed us around. Thank you so much to Yorgo and his wife Gorna. What incredibly kind and generous people to let us in their home, give us drinks, show us around. Gorna even gave us a sweet on our way out, and we took a photo together.
Come to Albania.
Yeah, seriously, like, if you like traveling and meeting people and exploring beautiful places, come to Albania and just start talking to people. All right, we're gonna head to dinner now.
Food.
It's like 6 o'clock right now and there's no one else here, but this is a beautiful place to come sit and watch the sun go down. Like, what a view. This is called a Berat schnitzel, and it's basically deep fried pork filled with cheese and an egg batter.
Life is good. Deep fried pork filled with cheese. It's the single greatest health food ever created.
And I got something called tabe korsi, which is a yogurt lamb dish, and there's a kitty cat. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay. Nice texture. It's like softer than the lamb. It's lamby. I just came back from the bathroom to this scene. Wow. It's our last morning here in Berat.
This has been a beautiful trip.
We're heading to the bus stop now. We have a very long journey ahead of us today. First to Tirana, then to Shkodër. This guest house has been great, and the owner is actually driving us to the bus stop now. Thank you all for watching and hanging with us here in Berat.
All the pictures of Berat, they've already subscribed.
Oh, they've already subscribed.
Yeah. This guy, so should you.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and we really appreciate you.
Especially you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.